It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Greetings and welcome to 2K Sports. I rarely say greetings, but I just did. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, alongside Kenny and Shaq. Tonight, we'll be watching the Milwaukee Bucks playing against the Toronto Raptors. Checking out Toronto, 6 wins in their last 10 games. They'd like to play even better. Tonight, a chance to add to their win total. Hey, we get a chance to check out DeMar DeRozan tonight. He has improved his game each and every year.
Yeah, his first step is explosive, and that's what's really separated him, and also difficult to guard. And because of that, then he gets to the free throw line, which enhances his game. So he takes less shots, scores more points, and more efficient.
When he focuses on what he does well, which is attack defenders, he's a force. He can be an elite scorer when he doesn't settle. Every now and then he settles for too many jumpers, but when he's in attack mode, it's like a killer pit bull.
Let's go over. I'm going to keep you on a short leash. Let's go over to Kevin Harlan as we get ready for the opening tip.
Coming to you live on 2K Sports, it's time for NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join us tonight on the sideline. For the season series between these two teams, the Bucks came away empty-handed in the last matchup against Toronto. And that loss puts them in danger of being swept in the season series here. So, to say the least, they'd like to avoid that.
And they had to be sensational defensively on that night to compensate for the fact that they just couldn't find a rhythm offensively.
Well, I don't think they're really built to play those kind of grinded-out, low-scoring games. It just doesn't seem to be in their DNA to me.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, DeMar DeRozan is a great dribble penetrator, but three-pointers are not his focus. He said, I feel like I can get to the basket at will, so it feels like settling. Instead, I could have gotten fouled, got free throws, or an easier shot. I'm not discrediting the three-pointer at all. I know I can shoot it. I just don't. Kevin?
And three-pointers certainly on the rise. We'll see if he sticks to his guns. DA, thank you.
Well, of course, 2 Canadian teams were born to the NBA in '95, but back in 2001, the Vancouver Grizzlies became the Memphis Grizzlies, leaving the Toronto Raptors as the sole Canadian survivor.
Let's get a nice, clean game, huh?
Tip-off goes to Milwaukee. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So for Toronto right now, Joseph and DeRozan, the guard set. Jonas Valanciunas is out there with Ibaka. And it's Carroll in at the 3, the small forward. Now here's Joseph. Screen by Ibaka. And Joseph kicks to Ibaka. And Ibaka slams it in.
So agile, Ibaka, able to quickly come up and set the screen, then quickly rolls into position for the score.
To the middle, it's stolen by DeRozan. Fast break, Toronto. The shot, no good. And Milwaukee will come the other way. What's interesting about the Raptors and Grizzlies when they first entered the league, the Grizzlies were actually the team that seemed to be on the track for big things, but lately the tables have really turned.
Yeah, and what's surprising to me is that as we've tried to appeal to more people in more countries with our game, we still have only one franchise located outside of the U.S., and that's the Raptors. The NBA is seeing a rejuvenation in revenues, but if we want that growth to maximize, we may need to try and broaden our international horizon.
Here's Joseph following the basket by Thon Maker. Here's the screen. Joseph, the pass to Ibaka. That shot misses. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes played. Dellavedova kicks to Middleton. Maker dishes to Middleton. Good work defensively by Ibaka.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them.
And the former 5th overall pick back in the 2011 draft, Valanciunas is still only scratching, people feel, the surface of his true potential.
And he's had a few bouts with the injury bug, Kevin, but when he's right, he's a load. Struggles defending on the perimeter, but his rebounding and rim protection have gotten more nasty as he's matured.
Well, you know, the Bucks only have one title in their history as a franchise, but what a title it was, led by my favorite player of all time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, known as Lou Alcindor back in the day. Teamed up with the veteran Oscar Robertson, the Big O, to bring the Bucks that first title.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
They set the pick. Here's Antetokounmpo. Up off the screen. And it's Maker laying it in. And you have to mention that 1971 title run by the Bucks. They were a force nobody could stop. Swept the finals in 4 games straight over the Baltimore Bullets.
Yeah, had 66 wins in that season as well, guys, and that was early in my formative years as a basketballer. Actually, when I first started locking into the NBA, a big Lou Alcindor fan. He was the 71 MVP in that championship year for the Bucks, and then he'd go on to win another MVP the following season. And ironically, those are the only 2 MVP trophies that a Buck has ever received.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
The Raptors have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Valanciunas. And last season, Jason Kidd had to have hip surgery, which caused him to miss a large portion of the season. Casual fans might think, why can't he just sit and coach? But there's a physical toll to coaching, as we all know.
Absolutely there is, guys. I mean, constant moving, the traveling, engaging in practice, film watching, which requires a lot of sitting. I mean, coaching an NBA team is very stressful and demanding. And hip surgery, any type of surgery for that matter, can definitely have an impact on your ability to perform as a coach. I'm actually glad to see Jason Kidd fully recovered and back to coaching his team.
Now here's Carroll. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Now here's Joseph. Defended by Dellavedova. Shot clock at 5. And Joseph kicks to Ibaka. Hits the 3-point bomb. Ibaka's got 5 points so far.
All that practice on the positioning and timing of the catch and shoot, paying huge dividends for Ibaka.
Here's Middleton. And the shot is long.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
Carroll passes to DeRozan. Screened by Ibaka. Here's the teardrop. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Just 5 to shoot. And Joseph kicks to DeRozan. And there's the call on Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's foul number 2 for him.
Well, he's got to watch himself now. I mean, that's 2 fouls already, and he can't afford another one.
Monroe's checked in for Milwaukee. Ibaka, wide open, he fires. Again, Ibaka missing.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Dellavedova with the ball. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Clippers. Offensive rebound. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. And Joseph kicks to Carroll. Ibaka with a screen on Middleton. Here's Carroll. Rebound by Monroe. Bucks trail by 5. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And here is Dellavedova. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. 6 on the shot clock. Feeds to Monroe. And misses it off the right side of the rim. So the Bucks, their last game, a win against the Clippers.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at them.
And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Raptors.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing
Two
turnovers.
shots.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
First free throw is good.
And clearly the Bucks, one of the more youthful teams in the league. The players they plan to build around have a few years before they're even in their mid-20s, so a bright future. I mean, their youth can be good and bad. It kind of cuts both ways during the season.
And so he makes both from the line. And with the double-edged sword of youth, the Bucks have just been trying to focus on getting better and growing their talent the last year or two.
And I like that approach. I think it's the right approach to take with a team like this. Getting them to learn what it takes to be a consistent player in the NBA is huge. I mean, letting them come together organically and having leaders emerge has been part of the process. It takes a little longer that way, but I think it is more of a solid foundation when you start competing in playoff basketball.
And when Greg Monroe signed with Milwaukee, many thought it was a perfect fit. However, as we saw after a short time, many question if he can be the answer for the team. Not so much a knock on his play, just on what the team is missing overall.
Hey, Greg does an awful lot of good things, but he's not a guy who's going to be a rim protector. His game is pretty close to the ground. But nonetheless, no matter what team Monroe plays for, I think he'll give you a post presence on offense, and he'll give you consistent effort in every aspect of the game.
Carroll kicks to Joseph, and he uses the glass on the layup. Joseph's got his first basket of the night.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Dellavedova dishes to Monroe. Fades. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Dellavedova. Dellavedova's got 3 assists now in this one. Raptors leading by 4. Joseph, the pass to Carroll. Ibaka sets the pick for DeRozan. And the shot's good after hitting off the rim. DeRozan's got 6.
The pick wasn't ultra effective, but it got him just enough room for the score.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
And DeMar DeRozan, kind of a throwback, for this day and age when we talk so much about the three-point shot, because he's not a guy that's going to bomb you to death from deep. He's a high flyer who's going to attack the rim and get to the free throw line. And to me, that's extremely important, because the more attempts at the line you get, the more opportunities you have to set your defense. And so he beats people with that polished mid-range game and shoots an incredible number at that line. And those are reasons why this guy continues to improve and become one of the best at that off-guard position.
Brogdon, he's checked in for Tony Snell. And we take a look here at the shot chart.
And looking at this shot chart, you can't help but feel that this entire team has played passively on offense. There has been little to nothing going on at the rim or in the paint for that matter. And when you don't attack the defense and put pressure on them down low, you're making life far too easy on them.
Bucks trail by 6. And looking at how DeRozan gets his points last season, Greg, he made great strides in becoming a more efficient shooter.
Yeah, and for a guy who didn't take a lot of threes, the field goal accuracy wasn't all that great for a number of seasons. But last year, DeRozan was more patient, took better shots. He also became more of a conscientious playmaker, which his teammates, no doubt, appreciate.
And the rejection by Monroe.
Man, I like the recognition from Monroe there. Actually, I love the recognition. His timing on these blocks, impeccable.
Toronto leading by 6. Carroll with it, now guarded by Middleton. And DeRozan kicks to Ibaka. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Ibaka's got 7.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Now here is Dellavedova, looking for his first basket still in this one. Screen by Monroe. 5 on the clock. Dellavedova dishes to Maker from 20 feet out. Rebounded by Valanciunas.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
DeMar DeRozan on the wing. Right wing. Now here's Joseph. Defended by Dellavedova. Fires high post. Rebound by Greg Monroe. Monroe's got 3 rebounds now in this one. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
That one falls.
And Monroe just gobbles up glass. I mean, never afraid to throw himself on the boards if it means coming away with a tough rebound.
This is his second trip to the free throw line.
And he's kept his percentage at a decent level, right around 74.
Mirza Teletovic is checked in for Maker. And that one falls for Monroe.
There's one word that you would use to describe Greg Monroe: consistency. Game to game, year to year, you know what he's going to give you. Doesn't vacillate or fluctuate much. He eats minutes and shows up to play his game each and every night. You know what? That's what you like to see. A perfect pass leading him right into the shot. Didn't even have to break stride.
Here's Brogdon, guarded by Powell. Milwaukee, no good that time either. Raptors leading by 7. Now Tucker, taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Nogueira kicks it to Tucker. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. The dish to Dellavedova. Goes up on the block. Toronto grabs the miss. They defeated the Wizards in their last game.
And Kevin, you know, they showed how important it is to have a strong bench. I mean, when you are on the road, that depth is vital. I think they really utilized the second unit to extend their offensive assault and just really wore down their opponent.
And guys, I think what you saw from them throughout the game was teamwork. This is a team. Regardless of who was out there on the floor at any given time,
gentlemen,
they got it done. And that has to make you feel good as a group.
First one falls for him.
And doing a good job getting to the line and capitalizing.
Exactly. I mean, that's what's helped them build this early lead.
The Bucks making a switch here. Henson's checked in. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Bucks trail by 8. Here's Brogdon. Powell pulls it in.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Patterson can't get it to go. Milwaukee's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Over in the corner, Dellavedova. Henson, a screen on Wright. And there's the foul. It's on Lucas Nogueira. That's his first foul. Brogdon the pass to Teletovic.
Really having a difficult time getting anything to fall.
Boy, you've got to give credit to the defense. I mean, this is where you want to really work for quality looks. Try to get that confidence back.
Over in the corner, Dellavedova. He feeds it to Henson. The floater. He doesn't hit that one. Now Toronto takes it the other way. Right down low. Defended by Dellavedova. 6 to shoot. Wright dishes to Nogueira. Powell for 3. The rebound by Middleton. Bucks trail by 8. Pass to Dellavedova. Here's Brogdon. They need this one. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova. Dellavedova's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. 1:22 left in the first. Here's Powell, coming off a solid outing against Washington. The 3. And Henson pulls it down. Milwaukee's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Middleton on the wing, guarded by Tucker, and stolen by Patterson. 50 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Patterson, the screen. Right wing. Back to Wright. There's the pick. Shot clock at 6. Here's Nogueira. Milwaukee with the rebound. Now here is Dellavedova. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. The pass to Teletovic. He kicks it to Middleton. Three-pointer, Dellavedova. Rebounded by Tucker. Pass to Powell. In the corner, it's Patterson. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And so the first quarter is in the books. It's the Raptors up by 5. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And power forward Patrick Patterson, getting better every season. He said that his college career at Kentucky really helped prepare him for his life as a pro.
I think my 3 years at Kentucky, caused what I am now, as far as being a sound player, a guy who's not all about himself, who puts his team first and who works hard and who doesn't talk back, who doesn't do the negative things. He's a team player, he's a team guy, and he works hard.
Patterson Clark, exactly the guy he says he is, and that's why he's one of those glue guys you've got to have on your team.
And the kind of guy who his teammates love, because they know he's always going to have their back, always going to work hard, and always going to bring it.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And guys, what's your take on Toronto so far?
Well, they've dictated tempo with their defense and been able to force some turnovers.
Yeah, and they've also done a good job, Greg, on their end of the floor by not throwing the ball away.
Tony Snell is out there with Brogdon. And then there's Antetokounmpo. Then it's John Henson, and it's Monroe in at the 5. That's the group for Milwaukee right now.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Chris Middleton is a prototype off guard. He likes to run off screens, catch, and shoot. He described his mindset saying, just space the floor, be patient, not force anything, and move the ball. Let those guys penetrate and find the best shot for the team. Team player indeed, Kevin.
Thanks, D.A., and he's developing his postgame. He can get in the paint now when they need him to.
Nice precision from the mid-range from Monroe. He's really good at measuring his jump shots.
And Wright kicks to Patterson. The feed to Tucker. There's the triple. Sinks the triple.
And guys, there are some you can give that shot to, but let's be clear, he's not one of them. Terrible job there by the D.
Now here's Antetokounmpo. A 24-point outing in their last game against the Clippers.
But his passing just blew me away. I mean, to see him operate their offense that way was a breath of fresh air.
Here's Tucker, following the score by John Henson. Patterson with it. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. 5 to shoot. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
And getting going here in the second quarter, his second three-pointer of the game.
And stolen by Wright. Down low. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
And the amount of space Antetokounmpo covers is really breathtaking. You got to see it to believe it. I mean, he erases shots that you think he has no chance to get to.
And stolen by Patterson. And DeRozan kicks to Ibaka. DeRozan passes to Ibaka. Tucker. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Yet another three for him, Kevin. He's really been draining them here in the second.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. Second quarter play with almost 3 minutes gone. Screen by Monroe. Antetokounmpo dishes to Monroe. Serge Ibaka with the rebound. Ibaka's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Tucker with the ball. Now guarded by Antetokounmpo. The kick out to Wright. Toronto working the ball around now. DeRozan passes to Tucker. But they'll get another chance. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. The Raptors have been good at the free throw line. This one, 7 of 8.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for. Around 80% on the season.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Damari Carroll comes in for P.J. Tucker. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Wright. And Patterson drops them both. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. Timeout called the Bucks. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Valanciunas, he's checked in for the Raptors. And a look now at the breakdown between 3-point and 2-point shots attempted here tonight for the Raptors.
And this is a high-powered offense today, clicking on all cylinders, making things happen, and also good use of the 3-ball, just enough to keep the defense off balance.
And so it's Milwaukee with it, down by 12. To the paint. To end the run. Monroe, no good.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at him.
Now, here's DeRozan. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Shot left block. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. DeRozan's got his third basket of the night.
And you love the defense that Ibaka brings to the court every game. Provides big problems for his matchup with his length. Is good to block at least a couple shots every night, it seems.
They're doing much better now. I mean, in the first quarter, they converted less than 30% of their field goals. But they've bounced back nicely here.
Passes it to Monroe. Unloads from 13. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Ibaka's got his 6th rebound on the night.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Screen by Ibaka. Here's Joseph. Kicks it to DeRozan. The shot that time not on target. The Bucks go the other way with it. And with Ibaka and his defensive presence, it's not only the blocks he gets, but the threat of blocks that makes him great.
It's a great point. You see a lot of very talented players start to hear footsteps when they get close to Ibaka. It isn't just that shot blocking that you mentioned. It's his help defense and ability also to defend on the perimeter. Also incredibly strong and very difficult to back down.
Timeout,
And it's good for 2.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Timeout called, the Bucks.
And guys, aggressive in creating his own shots, but thus far they have not been falling. Probably a good time to try and devote some of that energy to getting others involved.
Makers checked in for the Bucks.
And while we have a moment, let's check the stats for DeRozan. In the second half of this season, he's been nothing short of spectacular, averaging 33 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes naturally.
And, you know, defenses are throwing everything at him, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
Here's Brogdon. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the Clippers. And Henson kicks to Antetokounmpo. Here's Maker, and a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Antetokounmpo's got his 3rd assist on the night. Here's Toronto. They're on a 17-4 run. Joseph dishes to DeRozan. Carroll kicks to Valanciunas. Raptors moving the ball around. It's deflected. They get it back. And Ibaka slams it in. Bucks trail by 18. Brogdon the pass to Maker. Here's Brogdon, defended by Ibaka.
Yeah, you're making things far too easy for him when you let him get it that deep.
I echo that. Ditto. I mean, you've got to do your work early to try to keep him out of the post. Fight him a little bit. Keep him away from that spot he wants.
Releases from 15. The offensive rebound. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Nice numbers put up by Ibaka. He has 9 rebounds, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
You know what? The number is not huge, but he has been doing some valuable defensive work for them.
2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Yeah, you have to make teams pay for fouling you. That's why they call them free, and they've done exactly that, made them pay.
And both free throws good for Serge Ibaka.
And what's interesting about Ibaka, he's played basketball internationally ever since joining the NBA back in 2008. In fact, he won a silver medal with Spain in 2012.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Now here's Joseph. He picked up 15 points in their last win against the Wizards in Washington.
DeMar DeRozan, one of the few players that can knock down a shot like that.
Bucks trail by 18, and it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
Let's take a look at what the last month has looked like for the Bucks as far as NBA stats go. First in field goal percentage, second in three-point field goal percentage, and they're number 3 in team assists, a group of unselfish players who don't mind making the extra pass.
You said it all right there. The hottest shooting team in the league. And that tells you not only are they shooting it well, but they're also focused on creating terrific opportunities for one another.
Here's Joseph following the score by DeMar DeRozan. And here is Joseph. He dishes it to DeRozan. No good on the three. Antetokounmpo passes to Brogdon. Gets a hand on it, controls the rebound, and puts it back up and in. That's 10 points for Thon Maker.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Antetokounmpo kicks to Snell. Dishes it to Teletovic. They set the pick. Pass to Brogdon. Down low, here's Maker. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. A different look for Milwaukee. Chris Middleton's checked in for Tony Snell, and it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Brogdon. Then for the Raptors, Nogueira's checked in for Ibaka, and it's Powell in for DeMar DeRozan. Raptors leading by 13. Now Joseph to the left wing. Goes up the baseline, and there's Valanciunas on the assist from Joseph. Valanciunas has got 6.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
To the middle. It's tipped. Here's Carroll. To the inside. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. A quick break in the action now. Let's check out the fiercest shot swatters in the league. 5th is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
There aren't going to be many nights when you don't see him affect the game with his shot blocking ability.
Shooting 2.
The free throw drops for Valanciunas. Valanciunas hits them both.
Some good play from Valanciunas in this one. He has 8 points, and he's come up with a couple of nice steals today, too.
Clark, just a very energetic brand of defense.
Here's Maker, and the rejection by Valanciunas.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
And this is his 4th trip to the free throw line tonight.
And how good has he been at the line?
He sure has been. I mean, you could tell that he had that nice rhythm right from the start. Guys, I like that this is a part of his game that has really been consistent this year.
Now here is Dellavedova. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Back to Antetokounmpo. And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. Taking a look at Toronto. Unless they completely melt down, they should be in good position for a playoff run. And checking out Milwaukee, 9 games back.
And I think for Toronto, as talented a team as they are, has performed at a very high level this season. Everything's gone according to plan up to this point.
And they're not a team that other teams look forward to facing. They're only going to get scarier the deeper into the season we get.
Now here's Joseph. They lead by 20. That's the most we've seen. That shot wide open.
Most any player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Dellavedova kicks to Antetokounmpo. Middleton dishes to Antetokounmpo. Feeds to Maker. There's the double team with Joseph. Can they get it? He takes it up and lays it in.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Now here's Valanciunas. 11 points in the game.
And they're not taking their foot off the pedal. They just keep adding to their lead.
Well, it's never a good idea to back off and ease up, and it doesn't look like that thought's even crossed their mind. I love it.
Antetokounmpo with the ball. Guarded by Powell. Antetokounmpo kicks to Maker. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Valanciunas has got 4 rebounds in this game. Valanciunas with a screen on Antetokounmpo. Here's Joseph. Teletovic grabs the board.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
Now Carroll, after Chris Middleton missed from long range. Powell kicks to Nogueira. Back to Powell. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Powell's got 5 now.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Toronto's gone 4 of 6 from long range in the second quarter. Solid shooting. Now the dish to Nogueira. Now here's Powell. Defense right on him. Valanciunas passes to Powell. Just 5 on the clock. Carroll kicks to Nogueira. Again, Toronto.
Yeah, not always consistent offensively, but he sure looked good on that finish.
Milwaukee has gone 0 of 2 from deep here in the second. Antetokounmpo kicks to Middleton. And the basket by Maker. He's got 15.
He's really stepped it up this quarter. Looks like he's determined to get them out of this hole all by himself.
Valanciunas sets a screen for Carroll. He can't get that one to fall. Great D that time for Middleton. The pass to Dellavedova. There's a good screen. Back to Antetokounmpo. With some arc. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Valanciunas. Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Maker. Raptors also changing it up. Patterson, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. P.J. Tucker comes in for Damari Carroll. And it's Wright in for Corey Joseph. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Now here is Dellavedova. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And he's got his first free throw of the game. That free throw good from Dellavedova. And both free throws good for Dellavedova. Right with it. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. There's a screen. Here's Tucker. Here's Nogueira. And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Toronto ahead. They finish off the second quarter with a massive 16-6 run. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much. Jonas, you guys got off to a strong start. How important was it to set the tone early?
You know, we came out with a different energy. We said it's enough to struggle from the start. You know, we got to focus and play good starts.
That is where it all starts. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
First half in the books. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Welcome back as we break down all the action. Jonas Valanciunas putting in some incredible work. He had 13 points, 2 steals, and 5 rebounds. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, I really like how many times they got to the free throw line. They've taken the direct method, attacking the basket, not settling for jump shots. That's gotten them some really good looks and a lot of points from the line. Staying aggressive in the second half is key.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Milwaukee.
They were not running an efficient offense. The shot selection has to improve. It's as simple as that. Too many guys working as individuals, not as a team. They need to work as a unit, Ernie. Move the ball.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
Welcome back to the Great Lakes. We're back on the shores of Lake Michigan here in Milwaukee, and the buildings in the background at Sunset in Wisconsin. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. A fantastic game from Thon Maker in this one.
You just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Guys, I think here in the second half, though, they may want him to be a little more assertive. Start hunting more for his shot, even the tough one.
Raptors leading by 23, and on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. DeRozan and Carroll are out on the wings. Ibaka is out there with Jonas Valanciunas, and it's Joseph in at the point guard position.
Almost got to that shot in time, just a split second late there. Caught it just barely on its way down.
Bucks shooting around 36%. They're just not able to finish consistently. They set the pick. Antetokounmpo dishes to Maker. The shot's good.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
The Bucks haven't yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
And, guys, that's really an upgrade over how they shot last season. Not a huge upgrade, but an upgrade nonetheless.
And here is Joseph. He feeds it to DeRozan from 15 feet away. Rebounded by Maker. Maker's got his 4th rebound in this one. Now here is Dellavedova. He's covered by Joseph. Snell, the pass to Maker. Toronto grabs the miss.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release. Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
And Antetokounmpo gets it to go.
When Antetokounmpo is in the paint, you need to find him. You have to give him the ball there. I mean, he's an absolute monster in the post because he can shoot over most guys, and if he's defended well, he'll find you if you're open as a teammate.
Here's Joseph. Giannis Antetokounmpo making his last shot. Here's DeRozan, and it comes off the front of the rim.
It has not been an ideal start to the second half. They've missed 3 of their first 4.
And since coming into the league with Detroit in the 2012-13 season, Chris Middleton has steadily improved his game each and every year. A very measured improvement from him so far in his young career.
And there's a lot of things that I like about his game. One is that he plays within himself, doesn't force much. He's smart as a shooter. He's heady as a guy moving without the ball and defending. Knows what he's doing out there as a wing player and scorer, and keeps it real simple.
Now here's Joseph. Screened by Valanciunas. Antetokounmpo against Ibaka. And again, Toronto no up.
Tell you what, shooting 20% to start the second half doesn't bode well for how this will play out for this squad.
There's the double team with Joseph. Dellavedova, and off the front iron, and in it goes. Dellavedova's got 6.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Now here's Carroll, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. It goes on Chris Middleton. And that one falls for Carroll. Carroll hits them both. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Dellavedova kicks to Snell. Antetokounmpo dishes to Snell. Baseline J on the way. Over to the left wing. He kicks to Antetokounmpo. Pass to Dellavedova. Down low. Maker misses.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
Now here is Dellavedova. Jonas Valanciunas unable to get his shot to go. Antetokounmpo kicks to Maker, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Shooting 1.
And the Bucks making a change here. Ogden's checked in.
You know, one of the hardest things to do is to live up to the word potential when it's thrown around the player for so long. That was certainly the case with Antetokounmpo for most of his career. I mean, he's lived up to the hype and is realizing everything that fans hoped he would become when he first started his journey in the NBA.
Now here is Ibaka. He's got 13. Screened by Valanciunas. Clock at 6. Carroll, no one around him. And again, Toronto no up. As you said, potential can be a curse at times. So many players fizzle out after flashing moments of greatness. Giannis is living up to the hype.
Yeah, and I think you've got to give his coaching staff a lot of credit for that because they've been believers in Antetokounmpo throughout his career, and that helps, especially with a young player. They've brought him along, I think, at just the right pace. Took some time to figure out how best to use such a unique talent with his size, but I think he's got a great upside and will be a real force for years to come.
Timeout called, the Bucks.
Guard it.
John Henson's checked in for Milwaukee. And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going.
And the story of the game for him has really been painful. I mean, he's tried to get things going, but for whatever reason, between the defense and just his rhythm tonight, the touch just hasn't been there.
Here's Snell, DeRozan defending, and DeMarre Carroll is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Well, they're still early in the quarter, and they're only one foul away from being over the limit.
On defense, the Raptors, 16-point lead. And that one's good, Brogdon.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Here's Carroll after the basket by Milwaukee. The feed now to DeRozan. Shoots from 12. Another miss by DeRozan.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Maker passes to Brogdon. That three off the mark.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Now Joseph. It's DeRozan top of the key. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
And just a little bit ragged defensively.
Yeah, it's so bad I would even go a step farther and call it raggedy. I mean, that's how their defense has been overall today.
And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is, and so they will award the basket there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
The Bucks have been a perfect 8 of 8 at the line. And the Bucks making a change here. Monroe's checked in. The Raptors also with a sub.
Mind the lanes.
DJ Tucker,
Mind
he's
the
checked
lanes.
in for Valanciunas.
One shot.
That's good from Henson.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead.
Now here's Joseph. And Ibaka kicks to DeRozan. And Henson sends it back. Antetokounmpo against Carroll. Brogdon the pass to Henson. The Bucks working the ball around. Antetokounmpo dishes to Monroe. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Let's go to the 2K leaderboard for the real stats, real scores from the real NBA. Here are the team leaders in steals. You need to play these guys heads up. The Raptors third. 5th best, the Bucks.
Well, they're defensive-minded teams. Both of these teams are. They really pride themselves on making their opponents uncomfortable. And they get up into them.
2 shots.
And because they do, they're able to get deflections that lead to steals, and that leads to points for them.
That free throw good from Monroe.
Looking at the game Greg Monroe has been having, he has 11 points and 1 rejection in this game, too.
And was it a good one? Really, one of their highlights of the game defensively.
Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Toronto. DeLon Wright comes in for Corey Joseph. And so Greg Monroe nails both of them.
You know, the former Hoya Greg Monroe is a bruising big man who really imposes his will in the paint.
And Tucker kicks to Ibaka. Ibaka sets the pick for DeRozan. Here's Tucker. And there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Bucks trail by 11. Passes to Monroe. They set the pick. Pass to Brogdon. Off the pick. Some solid defense from Ibaka.
That was a half-hearted pick, and he was just going through the motions on that possession, and now it ends up costing him.
And Patterson kicks to right. He dishes it to DeRozan. But they recover it. Kicks to right. Dishes it to Patterson. The second chance effort, and Henson sends it back. Here's Brogdon. He has 7. And again, the Bucks miss. The wide open look here for DeRozan. That doesn't go either for DeRozan. Here's Milwaukee now. They're on a 20-6 run. 3-pointers, Snell, and a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in.
And Antetokounmpo just, showing you once again what an all-around superb talent he is. He really moves that ball on offense.
Now, here's Tucker. 9 points in the game so far, and it's DeRozan missing.
And he's clearly just disappeared here this quarter, not making any contributions here with his offense.
And, Greg, it's been hard to watch. You can see his frustration. He's actually looking forward to the end of this period so he can have a fresh start for the next one.
Here's Brogdon, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
In the second half of the season, you get an idea of the Bucks and where they stand statistically. 4th in assists, 5th in three-point shooting. And they also show up in the top 5 in free throw shooting. That's elite-level marksmanship at the stripe.
And let's go back to their place in terms of the assists. Cracking into the top 5 for me is an illustration of the cohesiveness with which they play offensively. No doubt this team's on the same page.
First one falls for him. Mirza Teletovic is checked in for Tony Snell. And then for Toronto, Nogueira comes in for Serge Ibaka. And Norman Powell subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. So he gets them both. Raptors leading by 6. Feeds it to Powell. The dish to Nogueira. Here's Tucker, and he's good on the 3-ball. Tucker's got 12 in the game.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
Brogdon the pass to Antetokounmpo. Now Monroe kicks to Henson. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Raptors.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
No good on the free throw. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. Raptors with the lead. Right outside. Nogueira kicks it to Tucker. In the corner, Powell with it. And it's off from three-point range. Milwaukee's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. There's the pass to Brogdon. Here's Monroe. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
How about the savvy of Monroe there? Really getting the D to jump right into him on his way up.
So far, he's hit all of his shots at the foul line, going 4 for 4. That free throw missing, and the Bucks making a change here. Dellavedova's checked in. Good on the second free throw. Raptors leading by 8. Now here's Powell. He has 5. He feeds it to Nogueira. Patterson, the screen. Tucker dishes to right. 5 to shoot. Jacks up a 3. They grab their own miss. It's good.
And the defense just gets caught standing around that time and giving up the second chance opportunity.
You know, that just can't happen. They need much more effort than that on the glass.
Now here is Dellavedova. He's got 6. Monroe, the pass to Antetokounmpo. Now here is Dellavedova. Guarded by Wright. Milwaukee the rebound. Got a hand on it. They retain possession. And it's out of bounds to the Bucks as Milwaukee retains possession. The Raptors making a switch here. DeRozan's checked in. Pass to Brogdon. Releases. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Brogdon's got 11 points. Toronto leading by 8. And when you look at Giannis Antetokounmpo play the one area that he continues to work on, well, it's his shot from range. He's been given the green light to shoot from beyond the arc, but still needs to develop consistency.
And just thinking about him becoming a proficient three-point shooter, guys, is scary, because then he'll really be hard to deal with. Giannis and his coaches have talked about how important it is to be a threat from deep at the point guard position in this modern NBA where the three ball is so critical to offensive spacing. It's something he's been focusing on, and sooner or later, I think all of his hard work is going to pay off in a big way.
And the second free throw, good. 1:57 left to play here in the third. Dellavedova kicks to Teletovic. There's the screen. Back to Dellavedova. Teletovic, the screen. Here's Antetokounmpo, and the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
I tell you what, it's absolutely foolish and futile to let Antetokounmpo get space to sprint towards the rim. I mean, the dunks he jams home are just downright filthy, ugly, nasty, wicked.
So it's Toronto now after the basket by Milwaukee. Out left to the wing. Here's Tucker. And again, no good by Toronto. Bucks trail by 7. There's the feed to Monroe. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You only have so many options when it comes to stopping Monroe, especially when he's on the block. He's a master at earning foul calls whenever he's down there, because when he finds his sweet spot, you're at his mercy.
He's had 6 attempts at the line, made 5 of them. That free throw, no good. Chris Middleton's checked in for the Bucks. He hits the second from the line. Here's Wright. We've got 1:08 left to play in the third. Outside DeRozan. Stolen by Dellavedova. Tries a 3, and he's good on the 3 ball. Dellavedova's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And how's that for a move? The killer crossover. It's a thing of beauty.
Outside DeRozan. It's Nogueira top of the key. Passes it to DeRozan. Back to Tucker for 3. Drains the three-pointer. Tucker's got 6 points in the quarter.
And he's on his way to putting up a big 3-point total.
Here's Dellavedova. Here's Monroe. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Dellavedova. 16 points for Greg Monroe.
Nice quickness from Monroe on the catch and shoot. When the defense stays back on him, he knows how to torch him with the J.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Looking to get back on track here. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. We've got 13 seconds left in the third quarter. DeRozan can't get that one to fall. Middleton with it. He got it up, and that's not going to go. The third quarter comes to a close. Raptors lead by 4. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Now let's take a listen on head coach Dwayne Casey.
We got to keep the ball moving, keep drawing and kicking, all right? Then look at the outlets, make sure again, our bigs, we got to get space. When we're driving, we got to give the ball room.
Looking to stay active on offense, Dwayne Casey asking his guys to apply a lot of movement and a lot of pressure.
And he wants them to go beyond just swinging it around the horn. It's about driving, dishing, and playing inside out.
We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. Mirza Teletovic out there with Chris Middleton. Then there's Tony Snell. Then it's Greg Monroe. And it's Brogdon in at the 5. That's the group for Milwaukee right now.
Man, I love how intense Monroe is in the paint. If he has the ball close to the bucket, he's thinking about scoring every time, which is how you should think when you're inside.
Here's Wright after the made shot from Greg Monroe. And it's blocked. Pass to Teletovic. Breaks a big height bounce and goes in. Teletovic has got the game tied up here for the Bucks.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
And DeRozan kicks to Ibaka. Raptors moving the ball around. And good that time. And the Raptors lead by 2.
That's a brain freeze right there from the entire defense. Now is not the time to lose your focus.
Well, I think you've got to give the offense some credit there. I mean, good instincts, understanding what the defense was giving them, and then taking advantage of it. That's what a good offensive player does.
Here's DeRozan after the basket by Milwaukee. He kicks to Wright from 18 feet away. Misses off the left iron.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Here's Brogdon. He dishes it to Teletovic. It's stolen by Ibaka. Right outside. Up top, DeRozan. All sorts of time. Here's Valanciunas. Nails the baby hook. Valanciunas has got 4 points now in the quarter.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Kicks it to Teletovic. Teletovic with a screen on DeRozan. Snell. Offensive rebound. Goes back up. And the rejection by Ibaka. DeRozan dishes to Ibaka. Right outside. And here's Tucker. Right outside. Clock at 6. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Wow. Wow. What a great performance from him. He's hit 3 in each half.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
And they need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Now here's Teletovic. And he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. Third minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Now DeRozan. Valanciunas sets a screen for DeRozan. Right, the pass to DeRozan. 17-foot shot on the way. And another basket for Toronto.
And that's a great piece of work to get to the hoop there. Just tore the D to shreds.
Dishes to Monroe. Feeds it to Snell. And there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. And that'll be his third foul so far. Henson's checked in for Milwaukee. Antetokounmpo comes in for Mirza Teletovic. Joseph, he's checked in for Toronto. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Middleton for three, and it's Toronto with the rebound. Valanciunas has got 9 rebounds now tonight. The dish now to Joseph. Outside DeRozan. They set the pick. And there's the pass to Tucker. Off target from three-point range. Bucks trail by 5. Pass to Brogdon. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Passes it to Brogdon. Henson with the screen. And that one's good, Brogdon. Brogdon's got 9 points here in the second half.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second 3 of the game.
And Joseph kicks to Valanciunas. And he makes the first. Damari Carroll's checked in for P.J. Tucker. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
Well, he's come through for them at the line today, and you love having a big fella who's so capable on his free throws.
Henson with it. It's Ibaka picking him up. Henson dishes to Antetokounmpo.
Well, Antetokounmpo in this one, 8 rebounds and 3 blocks. That kind of mix of assists and rebounds is what wins you basketball games.
Clark, it's a rarity when you've got a guy that can just do it as well as he does on both ends.
Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Toronto. That's good from Antetokounmpo.
You know, when it comes to versatility, the Greek freak, Giannis, is one of the very best in the league. I mean, his shooting, ball handling, and defense are really otherworldly.
Both free throws good from Antetokounmpo. Toronto's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. DeRozan passes to Carroll. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Chris Middleton. That's foul number 2 for him. Akers checked in for John Henson. Screen by Ibaka. Here's DeRozan. And the Raptors miss again.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
He feeds it to Carroll. Back to DeRozan. Pass to Patterson. Tipped away. It's stolen by Maker. And up the court come the Bucks on the break to tie it up. And it's off the back rim. No good. The Raptors have gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth. 4 of 9. And Joseph kicks to DeRozan. Puts it up from 12. That doesn't go either for DeRozan.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on him, they expect him to make it.
And the basket by Maker.
And really, after trailing the entire game, they've got to be feeling good about evening things up.
I certainly would be feeling good. Fourth quarter, momentum with them, ahead of steam. They've got to be feeling confident now.
Here's Carroll following the basket by Thon Maker. DeRozan, a good look, and he's back in business as a jumper finally drops for him. And the Raptors lead by 2. Brogdon the pass to Middleton. Got a piece of it. It's stolen. Here's Snell. Oh!
Man. And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. And Milwaukee has possession following the miss by DeRozan. Snell dishes to Maker. Chance there to take the lead, missing. The Raptors have gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the 4th quarter. Out to the wing. Carroll kicks to Ibaka. Outside DeRozan. Four on the clock. Unloads from 9. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. And the Bucks making a change here. Dellavedova's checked in. And the Raptors also making a change. Nogueira's checked in. Here's Dellavedova. Over to the left wing. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Snell kicks to Dellavedova. To the paint. Here's Maker. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. And Toronto making a change here. Tucker's checked in. Both good from the line that time. Toronto's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. DeRozan passes to Joseph. Ibaka with the screen on Antetokounmpo. Here's Joseph. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. From 10 feet out. And no good. Good work defensively by Ibaka. Now here's DeRozan. He's tightly guarded. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Screen by Ibaka. Goes up off the pick. And the dunk by DeRozan.
Yeah, that's careless defense, though. I mean, he's one player you can ill afford to let run free. He just loves to be a money player in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. I mean, he plays with no fear, and he certainly knows how to put the ball in the basket.
Here is Ibaka following the basket by Thon Maker. Screen by Ibaka. Carroll for 3. Hits the three-point bomb. And the Raptors lead by 1.
A pretty free look from three-point range. The D forgot about him on that possession.
You know, Greg, I think that might have been intentional. It perhaps was not an accident because he's typically not the guy that's taking that shot at this stage of the game.
And offensively, they seem to have turned a corner.
Yeah, I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but a much better half since they changed hoops. And they're really looking strong here.
Now here's Carroll. On the wing, DeRozan. 5 on the clock. And another basket for Toronto.
Big time bucket there, and you can expect to see him stay very involved the rest of the way.
Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly there. I mean, this is one guy who just does not know how to back down, and especially when the game's on the line in crunch time. Well, I tell you, the future of the Greek Freak is extremely bright. I mean, he really has shown the ability to deliver in important spots of games.
Brogdon, he's checked in for Milwaukee. The feed to DeRozan. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. DeRozan's got 24 points. Milwaukee's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Dellavedova dishes to Antetokounmpo. He kicks it to Maker. Puts it up from 12. No good on that one. Now Toronto takes it the other way. Now here's Joseph. He dishes it to DeRozan. The 11-footer. Nice spin off the left rim and in. 26 points for him.
Love the assist. I mean, he knew exactly where that bounce pass had to be to create that opportunity.
The putback, and it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. There's 1:26 left to play here in the fourth. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Now it's a 4-point Raptor lead.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
There's Maker, and count it from 19 feet away. Maker's got 8 points here in this quarter.
And how about the execution, really when it matters most? He knew he had the height advantage and just got the job done. No need to pass in that situation. You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was 1 step late that time, Greg.
Here's DeRozan. And they double up DeRozan. Lots of room. Tucker can't get it to go.
Not sure if he just ran out of gas or what, Kevin, but he's been awful ever since the second half started. Not even been a factor.
Now here is Dellavedova from 15 feet away. Knocks it loose.
And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an effort on the boards like this one.
Yeah, as a former outstanding rebounder myself, I can certainly appreciate what this guy is doing. An extraordinary combination of talent and desire is what allows him to do what he's done today. Great performance.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And Middleton kicks to Antetokounmpo. Brogdon, a 3-pointer off the mark. And he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let him dribble the game out.
Exactly. I mean, got to stop the clock any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
Drops the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he gets them both, and it's a 4-point ballgame.
Timeout.
Outstanding work at the foul line to make this a 2-possession game.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They trail by 4. 17 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know what? And they're going to draw up something where they can get a quick shot and then maybe a foul.
That's got to be the game plan here. I mean, free throws are really their only hope. Points with the clock stopped.
Here's Brogdon. And Middleton kicks to Dellavedova. Here's Maker. Yes! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
As clutch a shot as I have ever seen.
In a word, gutsy.
They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul. The first, that will put them up by 2. So he gets them both, and it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, how about the nerves there? Those free throws put them in a very good position. 3 points clear.
Timeout called, the Bucks. They're down by 3. There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Elevate over, the pass to Maker. He's off from 3.
And they get it back again. I mean, how many rebounds offensively have they had? Everything's going right for them today.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. First, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game.
Clutch free throws there. That should ensure they're going home with the W.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. Guys, what's your take?
You know, I think he's just trying to send his team a message, not willing to give up on this game just yet. Just trying to instill that fight in this group.
Yeah, hey, I'm all for giving messages and teaching lessons, and I respect that, but at some point, if it's over, it's over. I mean, you need to be looking at the next one. This one's done. Forget about it. Let's move on.
And so it's Toronto winning this one. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. Now time to send you over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, as we present our Jordan Player of the Game. DeMar DeRozan took the second half of this game by storm. Time and time again, he came up with huge plays for his team. What'd you think, Shaq?
The athletic ability of DeMar DeRozan is off the charts, but he's got a great head on his shoulders, too. I like this kid from California. And we got a good taste of how well he combines his smarts and his skills tonight.
His ability to penetrate and convert amongst the trees, phenomenal. It set the tone right away. And his attitude tonight was, I'm going to keep coming no matter what happens.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.